Okay, 7G. So let's see if your thinking matches my thinking. So for this genre, we're looking at an animated film, animated movie, and the animals are talking. So the genre would be fantasy fiction because it's kind of like this fable, the way that the author uses like the animals talking, it's like a fantasy story. So this is what we have for the gist. For the first gist, I would put the animals meet in the barn to listen to Old Major's speech. I'm identifying a setting, character, and the speech is about how their lives are not really great, and that one of the reasons their lives is really bad and miserable is because of Mr. Jones. And they should revolt, they should overthrow Mr. Jones and be in charge. At the end of Major's speech, the animals all sing together, and then with a very dramatic ending, after Major speaks, just like he predicted, he dies. And the animals get chased out of the barn by Mr. Jones, but they're left with that image in their head and this idea that Major has given them.
Now, let's cement some things like Ms. Gillum has been telling us. We're going to cement some things. So things that we need to remember. Animal Farm is a fantasy fiction. It's also an animated film like we just saw. So it's a fantasy fiction. Our theme that we've been learning about is that freedom from tyranny is worth fighting for, because we know they want freedom from the abuse of power of Mr. Jones, and they feel like it's worth fighting for that freedom. They're gonna fight until they die, like Major just did, for that freedom. But that's a little bleak. That's for later on. We know that Major gives his speech in a barn. That's our setting. And it's about the miserable lives that the animals are living under this man's rule, Mr. Jones. And we know that Major believes that man is the problem. And in order to solve that problem, we have to overthrow man. So we're going to get rid of Mr. Jones. And we know that the animals sing at the end. They sing their song, Beast of England, which is kind of like their kumbaya. So they sing their song at the end. And then after the song, sadly, Major collapses and dies. So this is what we know so far. These are some things that we need to remember and cement.